as a short version of the long video I did about the two FIs and the Thirlwall document, I just wanted a really short version about the conclusion. And it's simply this, that in the 2018 FOI, it's saying there are 17 deaths across the 2 full years of 2015 and 2016. But there must have been 19 deaths based on that data, because they miss out the deaths that end up on the indictment for August and October 2015. They miss them out. So there must be 19 at least deaths on that FOI, from that FOI. Then we get the revised FOI in 2023, once they've done this so-called manual count, and then the total figure for the 2 years is revised down to 13 deaths, from 19 to 13. It's got to be 19 because they miss out deaths in August and October 2015 in the earlier FOI. So there's a difference of 6 deaths there. 6. And then we get the Thorwall document, which has been produced very recently, which says that the deaths they're interested in include 13 deaths that happened on the NNU unit, on the neonatal unit, 13, which matches the later FOI. Then they talk about 4 deaths that happen post-transfer from COCH to a level 3 unit. And they talk about 1 death that happened on the on the maternity ward, in the maternity suite, before the baby has had a chance to go to the neonatal unit even. So and the potential of that Thorwall document is that it might have explained some large part of the difference between the earlier FOI, showing what should be a total of 19 deaths for those full 2 years, and the 13 deaths being shown on the later FOI in 2023. But because the Thorwall document tells us the months, the year and the months of these post-transfer deaths, and also the death of the baby in the maternity suite, most of them don't match, the vast majority. There's only 1 that potentially matches. So where we end up with is, why on earth were deaths put in that earlier FOI that apparently have just been magicked away? Cannot be explained by the post-transfer deaths that Thorwall later talks about. Can't be explained by them. And I think there's at least 4 of them. At least 4. And one of them, possibly also the August 2016 deaths, has gone as well. That's gone from the later FOI and from the Thorwall document. So there's a really big disparity, and I thought I'd sum up the conclusion, because when I did that longer video, I was working towards that conclusion. I didn't know I was going to come to that conclusion in the way I did, and the video was actually working it out as it was happening, rather than doing it before and then presenting it. But that's the conclusion to it, really. Don't know whether any of that data's right, the one in the middle, the Thorwall one, or the earlier FOI. But we cannot be expected to believe, can we? Can we be expected to believe that when someone applied for an FOI about deaths in the neonatal unit in 2018, that there were possibly 4 deaths on there that later on apparently never even happened, and there's no record of them, and they just disappear? Somebody just put figures in months and years that aren't there anymore, We're supposed to just accept that they did that and it meant nothing and it was just a mistake. Is that how easy it is to say that there are deaths happening at a certain day or certain month and year? You can just do it, and then the next FOI, oh no, none of that was true. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. My conclusion, tentative to a certain degree because I can't rely on any of the data, I don't think we can, is that there are more deaths that happened in 2015 and 2016 than that Thirlwall document is listing and describing. And I'm basing that on the earlier 2018 FOI, because I can't let it go until there's some way of understanding why they were there in the first place. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Thank you.